Hello, we are doing question 7b from the chapter 3 review. So we're going to start off by, we know that this is a log rule that we know, that we learned, and basically this is going to turn into like a little subtraction kind of thing. So we're going to add ln to both sides of the equation. So it's going to be ln y equals ln times x to the power of 1/2. And I did that because we know that x or square root of x is the same thing as x to the power of 1/2. And then we're going to do minus ln e to the x minus ln 3x plus 1 to the power of 4. Now, I know since these two are basically, they are multiplying each other, so this should be like adding, like right here, this should be like an addition sign, but it's not, because the subtraction sign right here is being distributed to this entire thing, to this entire equation right here, since these two are multiplying each other. So this is going to be negative, not positive. And then we're going to use the power rule. So we're going to bring this down here. And we're also going to bring this down here as well. So it's going to look like this, 1/2 ln x minus, oh, and then I forgot to mention, since these two are basically the same, we could cancel it out. So it's just going to be x minus 4 ln 3x plus 1. And then we're going to take the derivative of all of these. So this is going to turn into 1 over 2x minus 1 minus 4 over 3x plus 1. Now, we could definitely see that we could do some kind of chain rule right here, and we're going to do the chain rule right here. And when we take the derivative of 3x plus 1, the 1 turns into 0, and the 3x turns into just 3. So this is going to multiply by 3, and that's going to turn into 1 over 2x minus 1 minus 12 over 3x plus 1. Now, so we did take the derivative of this entire thing right here, but we also took the derivative of ln y. I just didn't bring it down with me. So we're going to do that right now. So this is going to turn into a dy over dx. And then this is going to turn into a fraction 1 over y. And we don't want it to be 1 over y, so we're going to multiply y to both sides, and the y is going to go right here. So this is going to stay as dy over dx. The y, we know that this y is basically, y equals to this equation. So we're going to plug this equation back into here. We're going to plug it in where the y is. So the equation is going to look something like this. And then we're going to put brackets, 1 over 2x minus 1 minus 12 over 3x plus 1. And then it would be done. We could leave that as our answer, but since on the review it says simplify it into one fraction, we're going to have to do more work than just leaving it like this. So I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to work on this part first before I work on anything here, because we don't have to do anything here yet. So we want to basically, I'm just going to bring this down. We're going to multiply these by the numbers in the numerator. So it's going to be 1 over 2x. The 1 gets multiplied by 3x plus 1. This also gets multiplied by 3x plus 1. And then the minus 1 gets multiplied by everything. And then we put the same thing down here. And then the 12 and the 3x plus 1 only get multiplied by the 2x. So now we can just basically put them together, and it's going to look like this. 3x plus 1 minus 6x squared minus 2x minus 24x all over 2x times 3x plus 1. And yeah, we could just basically add these together, anything that subtracts each other, anything that, just anything that subtracts each other or adds together, anything like that. So the negative 6x is going to stay the same, or the negative 6x squared, and then this is going to turn into negative 23x plus 1 all over 2x times 3x plus 1. And then we can actually bring this back down with us now so we can continue to solve the equation. And then this is not supposed to be there. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. And now we're just going to multiply everything together since this is multiplying. Yeah, this is multiplying. So we're going to multiply everything together. So it's going to look like something like this. Square root of x times negative 6x squared minus 23x plus 1 all over 2x times e to the x times 3x plus 1 to the power of 4 times 3x plus 1. Now, okay, there's a few things that we could do here as of right now. So these two, since they are the same, they have the same base, they're both 3x plus 1, and there is a little invisible 1 right here, their exponents can add to each other. So this is going to turn into 3x plus 1 to the power of 5, and I'm going to write that in a second. We also know that we can rewrite this, the square root of x, as x to the power of 1/2, and we also know that everything has an exponent. Everything does have an exponent, but if the exponent's not being shown, we're just going to assume that the exponent is 1. So there's a little invisible 1 right here because we can't really cancel anything out besides those two x's. And I'll do the math on the side right now for these two x's. So it's basically something like that, and we know that this is what it looks like, basically. And we know that when it's dividing each other, they subtract each other. So 1/2 minus 1 is going to be negative 1/2. So this basically cancels out. That's gone. And this is the one that stays. So it's going to be something like this. So we know that this is basically, this is going to be at the top right here. It's going to replace this. But since it's a negative exponent, we're going to have to bring it down right here so that I could turn it into a positive exponent. And now I'm just going to write my answer. So it's going to be, the answer is going to be negative 6x squared minus 23x plus 1 all over 2 square root of x times e to the power of x times 3x plus 1 to the power of 5. And I'll explain this one more time. Since this is now a x to the power of negative 1/2, we're going to bring this down, make it positive, and we know that x to the power of 1/2 is the same as square root of x, so we change this into the square root of x, and that is basically going to be our answer. And yeah.